God. Okay. All right. Well, I got this comment. Very long. I'll leave it up for a little bit so you can read it. I got this on a YouTube video, and the video was related to a video I also did here, which everyone's been talking about with Sam Seder and Jubilee and all these conservatives, young people who came up and talked very uneducatedly but very confidently about things that they don't understand based on stuff that they've just been told to believe, and they just believe it. Such as that young woman that I did in this video.
What's the problem with xenophobic nationalism? Don't you think that's better for Americans in general? We should have a coherent culture. Everyone should be a part of the same culture. We should have assimilation. We already have a dominant culture.
What is
based
the dominant
on
culture?
European and Christian values and identity.
Well, that's me. I get it. I know who I am. That is me as a representation. But I want to get into a few things in this comment. First is about American culture. It would be the indigenous people. That would be American culture. But what happened? Columbus and other explorers who were just looking for gold and riches and greed came here, annihilated everyone here in search for gold. Does that sound like assimilating to the culture? Because it doesn't to me. That sounds like the exact opposite of assimilating. It seems like decimating culture to replace it with one that's not from that area. That's what America is founded on. America is founded on people from other cultures coming here. So if you're talking about American culture, which culture are you talking about? Are you talking about English, German, Italian, Spanish, Polish, Dane, African, Vietnamese, Chinese, Korean, Mexican, South American? Which culture are you talking about? Because all of those cultures came here to make what you would call American culture. Your idea of American culture isn't based on anything truly American. It's based on a melting pot of different cultures to make this country a interesting mix of different things. In your head, you have an idea of what American culture is. That might be based on the community you're in, where you were raised, the time period in which you were raised, education, economic status, your social status. Culture is many and all of those things at once, which is in no way, shape, or form easily and universally understood by everyone. That's kind of what makes America great, is that everyone has a unique and different experience based on all of those things. Now, I'm not saying all of those experiences are good, nor right, nor healthy. The culture that we could have had, we didn't assimilate with, and we decimated and then shoved off to the side to ignore. Because I'm assuming that you're probably from, again, another non-American culture that immigrated here that you just take for granted because it's not directly linked to you. Assimilation is annihilation. The other thing I want to get to is this idea that we're a Christian nation. Okay, fine, that's true. There are quite a lot of Christians in this country. Fewer and fewer as time goes on, as you guys demonstrate your true character, which is you don't have much. But let's talk about Christian worldview. I grew up in Christianity for 40 years. From elementary school all the way through college in Christian education. That's what my parents put me through. One of the things that I heard often, frequently, very frequently in church and in the Christian schools I went to was this idea for Christians to be in the world, but not of the world. Does that sentence to you sound like assimilating? Because to me, it sounds like separating, not being a part of things. So the very idea of Christianity in many regards is to not assimilate to culture. And what they're doing now is trying to make culture assimilate to them by force. And if we're talking about Christianity, which brand, which genre of Christianity? I mean, we all know the Protestant ones: Methodist, Presbyterian, Southern Baptist, Church of God, Church of Christ. What about Catholicism? What about people who would call themselves Christians that a lot of Christians would be like, no, you're not? Mormons, Latter-day Saints, Christian Science, Jehovah's Witnesses, Seventh-day Adventists. They consider themselves Christians. Which brand of Christianity is the one that's the correct one? Because all of those different denominations are different denominations because they have differences over what they think Christianity is. So you're talking about we're a Christian nation, but that's vague. That's like saying your favorite animal is bird. And all of these arguments you guys don't think. You just want to not be challenged, to not be opposed, to not have to confront the consequences of your actions and your beliefs and your words, because that is unacceptable. Again, I see who I am. I see who I was. how I was raised, what I was taught, what I accepted without question. And I am not that person anymore. And I'm not going to stand around on this platform and just ignore the damage done that is being redone and redone and redone over and over again. So, to all of that comment, no.